My name is Rafaella Smith-Fiallo. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and certified sexuality educator who specializes in relationship, sex, and trauma therapy. My work is centered around a sex-positive, trauma-informed, social justice, and liberatory framework, which essentially means that my goal is to create a space to work toward living a life of satisfaction and pleasure that we all desire and deserve. Where do you start when a couple is experiencing discrepancy in their sexual desires? First, you have to normalize it. Desire discrepancy is one of the most common concerns that couples come to therapy with, and making sure we have an expanded, inclusive, and updated understanding of sexuality and sexual desire is paramount to helping the couples that we work with. Up to 80% of couples regularly experience desire discrepancy or not wanting to have sex when the other partner does. But the truth is, desire discrepancy is not an issue in itself. Instead, it's in the details of how sex is declined, the meaning couples ascribe to the desire differences, and how they do or don't discuss their concerns. According to Dr. John Gottman, couples wait an average of 6 years before they make the decision to seek out couples therapy. That's 6 years of one or both people waiting and hoping that things just work out with time. 6 years of miscommunication, 6 years of unhelpful habits that keep them stuck, 6 years of frustration at risk of turning into apathy and resentment. And as bleak as it may sound, it isn't a hopeless situation. I'd like to share a quick example of a couple, Avery and Rain, who came to therapy to work on having more sex. I quickly learned that Avery and Rain had been experiencing a variety of personal and shared stressors. For example, Avery had a lot of work stress with no team support and also saw no end in sight. Rain recently started a new job that ended up not being as great as promoted, and they were really struggling with how to move forward due to having received a large sign-on bonus. And if they left the job, they'd have to repay the bonus, which of course they'd already spent. And together, they were struggling to manage the financial responsibility of becoming new homeowners and uncovering several hidden repairs over the last year. All of this stress was exhausting for Avery, who felt depleted of energy to do much else after work aside from binging Netflix. Avery rarely thought about sex, and the idea of getting in the mood felt nearly impossible. It seemed that Rain was equally stressed, but when Rain was stressed, sex was how they experienced stress relief. So here we have two people experiencing major stress, and for one person, stress caused them to lose interest in sex, and for the other, sex was a stress reliever. How do we help them manage this when nearly all of their stress seems ongoing and out of their control? And to add to it, the tension in their sex life is being added to their list of what's causing them stress. I started with assessing for the 6 P's of sexual desire: pleasure, pressure, priming, performance, physiological, and pain. I'd like to invite you to come to a new course I'm offering with the Academy of Therapy Wisdom. The course is divided into 4 modules. The first module begins with understanding sexual desire, so you can help your clients increase their insight into their sexual patterns, minimize their shame and embarrassment around sex, and give them permission to redefine sex and sexual desire for themselves. Our second module is all about the assessment phase, so we'll look into several categories that you want to explore when assessing sexual desire dissatisfaction and discrepancy. In this video, I talked about one of the 6 P's, and we'll go over the other 5, as well as 2 other assessment tools. This module will give you the tools to uncover the issues underneath desire discrepancy and allow you to see the paths to working on them. Module 3 and 4 are all about intimacy interventions. In Module 3, we'll discuss client communication skills that we can teach in session. In Module 4, we'll move on to helping clients tap into their erotic selves, solo and with their partner, to create more space for playfulness and fun, and to increase their frequency of touch without the pressure or assumption that intercourse has to follow. Think about your couple clients and how they might feel coming into therapy. Cautiously optimistic, passively participating, or anywhere in between.